Hello. For those of you who are new here, my name is Matthew Costa, and I'm a boudoir photographer. Today I want to talk about how I got started and how you can get started as a boudoir photographer yourself. Today I want to take you guys all the way back to the very beginning. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story about myself and my journey in regards to starting my boudoir photography business. Now, when I first started being a photographer, taking pictures, it had always fascinated me, but I never really had an opportunity to begin or to try it. But it was always in the back of my mind thinking, hey, that's something I'd like to try. That's kind of a way, it's an art form I'd like to take a step into. And for the longest time, I'd wanted to try it. I'd wanted to. But I put mental roadblocks ahead of myself. I said, I'm too young, being in my early 20s. I said to myself, oh, it's hard because I'm a young male. And I gave all these problems and reasons that I couldn't do it, rather than focusing on, you know what? Focusing and finding reasons or ways to do it. And so that's what I want to be here today for you guys, is any of you guys who want to start out shooting boudoir, how to go about starting so that you're not like me, where you just keep telling yourself that you can't for so long. Starting off, the first ever boudoir photo shoot I did was with my girlfriend. Now, it is something we discussed, knowing that I'm a photographer, and we decided to try it out just between the two of us, and it turns out I absolutely fell in love. Not only was it something I felt truly and artistically inspired to do, I loved the way it made her feel. I loved the way it made the subject feel. That sense of confidence that they get, that sense of being comfortable in their own body is quite an amazing feeling. So immediately, the first shoot I did, I knew I fell in love, and I knew that this is artistically what I want to do as a professional. This is what I want to go into. But my challenge was still theirs. How do I find models without a pre-existing body of work? How do I get people for my portfolio without a portfolio already there? So with that challenge ahead of me, I set out. And again, for the longest time, I had these mental roadblocks. I just can't find anyone. And then I sat down and I thought to myself, no, you know what? I'm never gonna start if I don't just start. So I started asking around some of my friends, and really at the beginning with all types of photography, but especially with something like boudoir, it's going to be difficult to find models. You are going to have to, not be annoying, but you're gonna have to ask around. And so that's what I did. I asked my friends over and over again. And any of the ones that showed a little bit of interest that first time I asked, I took note of that. And I asked them again and again and again, until finally I got one, I got two, I got three, four of them saying, yeah, you know what, let's do this. I'd love to do that type of photo shoot. I'd love to see what kind of images we create. And that's amazing, because once you get a few, you now have your body of work. So now you have the models. But if you're like me, you're gonna be in a situation where you can't shoot it at your house. You don't have a space set up to do that as a studio. You don't have a spare bedroom you can use for that. Maybe you do, and that's great. So then you don't need to worry about that. But for me, I didn't have a location that I could go shoot. What I recommend, and this may sound a little weird at first, but it's important to just communicate with your model up front about it. You don't have your own location. Here's what I did. I got an Airbnb. They're relatively affordable. You just have to get them for the one night, and you have that space, and they're oftentimes going to be very lovely homes. They're going to be clean right when you walk in. You're not going to be making a mess anyway, so there's no worry about that. It's basically like renting a mini studio, but it's perfect because it already has everything set up, and you get to see photos of the place before you book. I've had no issue in my experience using Airbnbs like this for photo shoots, for my boudoir photo shoots. Not only that, you get a variety of locations as opposed to one studio. So now when you have your first, second, third, fourth, fifth photo shoot, you start to build up a body of work. Not only do you have a diversity of people because you're asking all your friends, you're now going to have a diversity of locations because you're shooting at from one location to the other. And when you're starting out, before you have a studio, say you start to get clients, what you do is you tell them up front that you don't have your own location, that you're going to be renting a place. You tell them up front what the situation is, because accountability and communication is very important with all types of photography, but especially when it comes to boudoir, given how sensitive it can be. So now that you have a location, you start to build up your body of work. That's really all it takes to start promoting yourself, to put yourself out there, and to get clients. And that's really a wonderful thing, because once you start, you're gonna get that ball rolling, and next thing you know, you're gonna be booked solid. Another thing I want to mention is once you start having that collection of work that you can put in your portfolio to have on, say, your website or your social media such as Instagram, another great way to get future clients from your friends that you ask to do shoots with is to create a sample album. There's many different local and online places that you can get a photo album printed. It doesn't need to be the fanciest, it doesn't need to be the biggest or most expensive, but get something printed. Once you have that sample album, not only can you start advertising yourself, but say you get somebody interested. They come in, you can show them that sample album. So not only are they seeing the beautiful images you have on your website, but they're able to see them printed in an album. Not only will that help you actually get people comfortable with shooting with you and potentially becoming clients, it'll also get them interested in purchasing an album for themselves if they do choose to do a photo shoot with you. It's just about building that client base as well as client trust. It is a huge help, and it's something that has helped my business a lot. This is my story, and that's how I started, and that's how I began shooting boudoir. It is something I've been very passionate about for a while, and I'm very happy to be able to finally be doing what I love and creating beautiful images and working with beautiful individuals and helping them see themselves as beautiful. That's how I started, and I hope you can take my story and some of my advice and tips into your work to get yourself started and create beautiful images. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Matthew Costa. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe to my channel as I release new videos every week about photography and videography. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.